Hi, I'm Venus O'Hara and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be sharing a different video with you, and it's about money, and more specifically how I learned the value of money and my first job. This was a very long time ago. When I was a teenager, I really wanted to work and have my own money and independence. I remember my best friend when I was at school, she was doing a paper round, which I'm not sure if that's very popular these days. I guess probably less so with people having more, access to digital newspapers. But anyway, a paper round, and she saved up for many weeks. And I remember she came into school one day and she bought herself a pair of trainers, from a really good brand. And we went to a Catholic high school with uniform, etc. And trainers was the only kind of way to express how cool you were in PE. And I didn't have any kind of good branded trainers. I had kind of like maybe Plimsolls or something like that. So having a good brand of trainers was really it was an ego thing, but it just did mean a lot at the age of 14, 15. And I remember when she came in with these, bright, shiny trainers, and she was so proud of them because she'd worked so hard for them. It could have taken her maybe 10 weeks to save up for them. And it was kind of like, in Spanish they have an expression which is healthy envy. I'm not really sure how that translates to English, but I had a kind of healthy envy feeling towards her, and I just thought, wow, I was very inspired actually. I thought, I want to do that. So I think my parents did not let me have a paper round though, and I'm kind of glad, because that was a big bag of paper, and I didn't have a bike, so that would have been even harder. So I think for personal safety as well, they didn't let me do it. So I had to look for other options, and it wasn't easy at that age. So I asked my parents if I could try and get a job washing up or something like that in a cafe, and they said, yes, if you find a job, then you can do it. Obviously I had to consult them first. So anyway, I found a job in a local cafe, and I used to go for a couple of hours after school and half day on a Saturday, and I was getting paid £1.90 an hour. And £1.90 an hour at the end of the week when you've worked, 10 hours or something, is kind of a lot of money. Having just a note, it seems quite crazy. It was amazing. And also the only thing I would have to spend it on would have been magazines and sweets or something like that. So anyway, for a few weeks, I didn't buy myself a pair of trainers, but I had it's all relative, but I had another objective which was better for me, or more desirable for me. I wanted to go on the French school trip, because I was never really allowed to do school trips and school holidays and stuff. And I think there could have been an element of fear from my parents about, not your child being out of sight. And I was a bit crazy as a teenager, to be honest, in their defense. So I know my parents didn't really they all thought, you're getting a good education anyway, they're not going to kind of spend any more money on things which probably are not going to be worth it. But for me, I just loved French so much. I was a linguist from the very first class that I did when I was 11, and it was my dream to go to France, because I was going to Ireland every summer on holiday. And so I saved up, and I remember the school trip cost about £200, just the travel and accommodation. Obviously after that there was spending money, but I saved up, and I was actually able to go on the school trip. So it was an absolute dream come true for me. And because I'd paid for it myself at the age of 14, it meant that I appreciated it much more than the other kids I was traveling with, who just, their parents were paying for them. They didn't really appreciate it at all. And also they didn't really enjoy French like I did, because I really did have a French fever. It's just I even knew when I was 11 that I wanted to live in France. So it was a really big deal for me to actually go to France and practice my French, whereas the other kids just couldn't care less. And I remember when I was on the boat going over from, I don't know where it was, Dover to Calais or something like that. It wasn't actually those ports, but it was a different, because we were going to Normandy. So I can't remember exactly where it was. But anyway, on the boat, I asked someone what time it was. I said, quelle heure est-il? And then they said, il est 11h30, mais en Angleterre, il est 10h30. So he said, it's 11:30, but in England it's 10:30, because obviously there's an hour difference. And I understood every word, and I felt, oh my God. And I told my friends, I asked this guy a question in French. I understood the answer. And they're like, yeah, so whatever. So they didn't really care at all. And we had a very cool coach driver. We did all these excursions to different parts of Normandy, Mont Saint-Michel, and some kind of war Bayeux tapestry, and lots of historical monuments. And I was never a history fan, to be honest. I just wanted to speak French. But the coach driver said, if all the kids pay me £5 each, or 50 francs, I'll take you to Paris. So we all paid and we went to Paris for the day, and it was just, oh my God. I mean, just to be near the Eiffel Tower, Notre Dame, all these sites when I was just 15 years or 14 years old, and I'd paid for it, washing up for £1.90. It was just absolutely fantastic, an incredible feeling. Yeah, and then as I've gotten older, I've always worked for my own money, and I've always attracted boyfriends who were kind of from rich families who never had a job in their lives, and they didn't really know the value of money. I remember I had a boyfriend who I was working as a waitress when I was when I was about 16 or 17, and I was getting about £15 a weekend, and whereas my boyfriend at the time would just go like that to his parents and get a £20 note, and I was thinking, my God, you should see how much I worked just to get 15, which is obviously less money. And I just don't think they had that work ethic in them. And then I've always attracted guys like that, unfortunately. Yeah, I remember when I was in Spain, when I first came to Spain, I was seeing a guy who had never worked either, and he said, "Mama, pasta," and I said, "You've just eaten." Then I learnt that pasta meant money, so I was just like, wow, this guy's getting a wad of cash just to go on holiday with his friends, whereas I'm working every day. Yeah, so yeah, I've really learned the value of money, and I've never tried to find a rich man in my life to kind of take care of my expenses or anything like that. I've always been into having my own money, and I do consider myself to be a feminist, which has become a dirty word in some ambiances, but for me it's just about independence, and I think it's really important. I really do believe in financial independence, because I think it's a lot of situations or unjust situations can be avoided if you have your own money. It's very, very important in a relationship to actually maintain that your financial independence, because otherwise it can be, money is power, and then you can be in a situation that you don't want to be in because you haven't got any money to kind of get out of it. So yeah, I'm very glad that I worked for £1.90 an hour, and it's certainly, the value of it definitely paid off, literally, and the value is way more than that actually. So yeah, what about you? What was your first job? I would love to hear your opinions on money and independence, and what you have done in the past to get money. Well, I'm not sure if that's a good question or not, but you know what I mean. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to leave a comment below. And if you have any requests for new videos, don't hesitate to write to me at venusohara.org or on Instagram at venusohara. Thanks for watching.